What's up, everyone? How's it going? It's Corey Taylor Vega with Taylor Made Fitness, and today we're going to be going over state of mind. And what do I mean by when I say state of mind, and how does it relate to exercise? Well, I'm going to break it down like this. So, you already have the idea of hard work, dedication, commitment embedded in your head. You get that anywhere and everywhere, but what I'm going to be trying to provide is going to be that perspective that people have when they're in the gym, what goes through their mind, so that you're a little more familiar with what people are thinking when they're in the gym. So you have your standard stuff and you have your stuff that is not looked at from a beginner standpoint. And by that I mean you're so focused on the fundamentals that you often overlook a state of mind that is very common in the exercise world. And I feel like that's going to be something that is going to help a lot of people who are listening in today and help them get a better idea of what to expect when you're in the gym. But before I get started with that, I want to let everyone know that in my website and with the promotional campaign with the Taylor Made Fitness brand that I'm promoting, we have a campaign going on called the Underdog Campaign. And to summarize it up, we are basically looking for the storytellers of the fitness world. And these goes for the people who have years of experience in the field. So it's going to be relating towards talking about the challenges that you overcame to help you get to where you are today. I feel like we already have a lot of people talking about hard work and dedication, but not too many people talk about the story that got them to where they are. And I feel like that's something that is a lot more relatable, that a lot more people can connect with, to see someone on the other side of getting their journey started. So I feel like that's something that could be a positive reinforcement to the community, and that's something that I want to help build. So if you want to find out what it's all about, or you want to hear my story and you want to find out ways how to enter, you can check it out at my website at taylormadesession.com. That is TaylorMadesession. Sorry, I had a brain fart. So yeah, you got that available, and let's get started with the state of mind. So first and foremost is going to be first set syndrome. This happens to amateurs and people with years of experience in there. And what first set syndrome is basically when you're got an exercise drawn out and you know what you're supposed to be doing and you have a designated weight that you're starting with. Oftentimes people kill it because they're very fresh, and by kill it, that's a term used for meaning that you do really good at it, you dominate it, and that's a confidence that people get when they're trying new things, and that's all fun and dandy. But the first set syndrome comes in when you have a sense of overconfidence, when you feel like you can push your limits faster than what you're ready for. And what often happens is people overwhelm their muscles trying to execute these reps at a higher weight that they're not ready for, because they worked in as far as reps, but they're not familiar with volume, if that makes sense. So when you're setting yourself, or I'm setting up a client for an exercise and they tell me that they want to push the weights because they have an adrenaline rush from that first set, execute it flawlessly, I tell them, hey, listen, go for that third set if you're going out for 5, and let me know if you feel the same way or if you want to stay where you are. 9 times out of 10, they all stay where they are. They see that state of mind in going in through their heads when they try to compare what they're feeling like emotionally and what they're feeling with physically, because those are two different things. And it's definitely attributed towards the people who have years of experience, the vets in the fitness world, because of the fact that they're trying new exercises that they want to do, that they feel confident in, and they might overwhelm the muscles that they're trying to target. So it applies to everyone and anyone, but it's something that very much so exists. I'm coining this term here, first set syndrome. Everyone has experienced this. Everyone knows somebody who has messed up while they were trying this out, and it's very much so a thing. So you heard it here first. First set syndrome. Boom. On to number 2. Okay. This one is very common. A lot of people are familiar with it, but I would definitely like to give it a term for what it entails about, and it would be called Hollywood syndrome. So what I call in the fitness world, Hollywood syndrome is basically whenever you're at the gym, especially new people who might feel overwhelmed or intimidated when they're stepping into a new location with all of these exercises. they usually feel like everyone is looking at them, like they're under the scope of the members of the gym and the gym community, that they are being judged for every single little thing they do. And it's not really like that. What we have in the fitness world is an understanding that everyone is giving it their best. Everyone is pushing themselves to the limit. Everyone has their own schedules going on around through the day, so people just want to get in and want to get out. Nobody's really focused on what you're doing, on how you're trying to approach it. They're just as nervous as you are, regardless of if you're someone who is just starting off or if you're a veteran. There's always going to be the people. There's always going to be that state of mind and thinking that people are looking at you when they're not. Because if they were, then they're losing out on their time for their exercise purposes. And then the vice versa. So let's say you do really well and you get those results that you thought were once impossible. Hollywood syndrome applies when you reach this standard that you once thought was unattainable, and you all of a sudden feel like you conquered the world all of a sudden, and you feel like you're this big person to look up to from the world, from everyone else too, and you want that attention. So this is mostly apparent in social media. People start posting everything they do, from what they eat to what time they wake up to what time they're at the gym to what exercise they're doing to their form to their selfies, so consistently that it becomes annoying. Like, if you want to be happy for yourself, congrats. You're reaching limits that you thought were not attainable before. But really, like, no one is really that interested in knowing what you're doing. No one is taking these notes down word for word. And, like, you just want the immediate circle that you have around you to pay attention to you, because you have this going on in your life, and it's you feel like it's noteworthy, which it is. Congratulations, as far as you're getting to what you want to in life. But the amount of detail, they overshare their life. Like, they give themselves a celebrity status in a following of whether 100 or 100,000. Is like, they're not really making a contribution. It's more so of a narcissistic element to it, I feel personally. But to each their own, and people want to make an impact however they see fit. But I just personally see no benefit in 10 dozens, millions of photos of you with your shirt off, or you flexing your abs, or you popping a booty. Like, the most influential one is going to be two: the before and the after. Everything else in between is pretty much for self-purpose. Last but not least, good sign syndrome. Good sign syndrome, even though it sounds good, it's more so of a bad thing, because it's a state of mind that people get when they are seeing good results, and it works against them. So oftentimes when people are getting good signs from their progress, they're staying on track, they're doing everything they're supposed to, they're getting closer to where they want to be. One of three things happen. One, they go, they see the value of staying dedicated, staying determined, that each and every little day that they put into it adds up, and they skyrocket with progress, staying dedicated and seeing everything that it has to offer. Or two, which is also very common, would be that people often slow down, or they start to slack on their discipline outside of the gym. So they would be coming in less frequently, or they would be eating improperly, eating what they're not supposed to be eating, and thinking just because they had an excellent performance once, that they could just do it again at the same output, at the same what's the word I'm looking for, and get the same exact result as they did in, just because they did it once. Once they start breaking down, once they start losing that foundation that they built up, it becomes harder for them, and then they feel like they're not going to be able to, and they feel like they're not getting the same results as if they were doing the same performance, as if they had that same discipline in the beginning. And that's kind of tough to explain to them, and some of them take a few weeks to get the picture. But others believe that it's just luck, like if it was a stroke of luck that they got those results in, which is not the fact. And the third situation would be that people slow down or give up entirely. So by that is like, for the people that don't understand the human mechanics and how the body works, how muscle, bone, and tendons work all together, it is something that has to be built up. It is a foundation that is very fragile because of the fact that the simple action of no action can destroy that foundation that you build up. The people that go from 0 to 15 push-ups in a few weeks think that they could just give up, come back a month later, and continue from those 15 push-ups. No. The people who feel like they lost 10 pounds when their mission was to lose 50 pounds, they feel like they could give up for months and then come back and still be at the same weight that they were at before. It's not how the body works. It is a part of an entire 24 hours a day. And that's why the training aspect of it is so important. That's why it's always good to have someone by your side to help you really stay on track, to let you know what to keep an eye out for. Because most people believe that just because they attend a course with a trainer, that it's going to happen spontaneously. Just because they put in X amount of time or money, that it is owed to them. We trainers give you the material, the understanding, and the guidance towards doing what you need to do. You, the individual, have to be in charge of following through and trusting the process of the information and advice that we give you. So it's definitely a relationship in a sense of helping them understand it, helping them see the value of what we tell them, and having them apply it. What I like to do is I like to, of course, always tell clients the plans, break it down in a simple manner if they don't understand it quite the first time, or break it down to the T with the scientific explanations if they're into that. And also I test them. I tell them, hey, listen, what did I just tell you? Oh, hey, what does that do? How does it help you out? Do you notice what you're doing wrong? And so on and so forth. Or like, what does this term or that term mean? So that they can remember this stuff, because we're not inclined to stay with you forever. Me especially, I like to help people learn and get educated in a lifelong education experience that serves them for the rest of their life. And yeah, so that's part of the state of mind of people's exercise experience, and things to keep an eye out for when you're doing your own routine. And I'm gonna wrap it up by saying yeah, that's it. The word yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for listening in. If you took some time into listening, I'm Corey Vega, New York certified personal trainer. If you definitely want to check out what I was supporting earlier about the Underdog campaign, please feel free to check it out at my website at taylormadesession.com, taylormadesession.com. You can read about my underdog story, what got me to this point where I am. You can see how you can, what you would need to do to enter it. And we got some cool stuff there for you to check out. So, yeah, do that when you guys got time. So it was a pleasure talking to whoever was able to hear it. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.